Okay, today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at installing Proxmox and Proxmox Backup. So when we come back after the break, we're going to get on that. Hey, we're back. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to look at installing Proxmox and Proxmox Backup and get those ready for installing the rest of our servers and services. So what Proxmox is it is a virtualization environment, a hypervisor. There are a few different ones out there. Linux native is called Virt. Microsoft is HyperX. And Proxmox is Proxmox's, and there's also VMware's ESXi is the free one, and I think it's called VSI. I haven't used it for several years now, but it's another one out there. But we're going to be looking at Proxmox, and the reason we're doing that is because of the second product, Proxmox Backup, which allows you to sync between Proxmox, Proxmox Backup, and automatically back up everything in your data center or on your Proxmox instance. Or choose to schedule them different times. You can back maybe one up once a week, one once a month, one every night. It all depends what you want to do. But we'll probably look at configuring all that in a later video. What we're going to do right now is just get them up and running and installed. I'm going to start by going over the install process. What I've done is I've taken some screenshots, and it's basically the same for both, just the title is Proxmox or Proxmox Backup. So I'm going to show you for Proxmox. The process is similar for both products, and then once that's up and running, I'm just going to shut the cameras off, and then I'll come back once I've got the servers powered up, because I can't show you from a command line screen. I can't screen capture that way. So we'll switch over now to the desktop, and what we're looking at is Proxmox virtual environment. From here, what we're going to do is go through the install process, which is pretty simple. All we need to do is burn to a thumb drive from the website the ISO image, and you'll do the same for both. There's the Proxmox Backup and again the Proxmox virtual environment. You'll burn them to an ISO, then you'll make sure that you've got a machine that's capable. You can either go to a single hard drive or you can go to a RAID, as long as it's supported. On the website, Proxmox has a list of the supported RAID cards. There's certain ones like Dell PERC 7 that's more recommended than others. Some of the older ones, like a PERC 3 and stuff, they're just not supported by it. So make sure your server board, your controllers, and your SCSI controller are all compatible before you start. Then you plug it in, boot from the USB, and you'll come to this screen. What this is basically the installer. Like any Linux boot stick, you just follow through the prompts. So basically install Proxmoxpe, scroll all the way down, hit agree on the user agreement. And on this, it's going to ask you where you want to go, what your target disk is. This one installed to an 8 gig, not a big deal. You can install whatever you want. I have two different Proxmox machines that I've got up and running. One's installed to an SSD, one's installed to an internal 8 gig flash drive. So this was a 8 gig flash drive. So from there, you're going to proceed on, choose your area, Canada, Vancouver, US English. Then you put in your password, confirm your password, set in whatever your email address that you're going to set up for your alerts is going to be. Then set up your IP address that you want, gateway, DNS, netmask, and you continue on. It's going to prompt you for all that stuff, and basically it's going to install. So once you're there, you've got installed on the system. Switch back over here. So you've got it installed on the system, and then from there you're going to be basically booting up into a web GUI. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop the recording, power up the machines, and I'll come back in the web GUI and we will take a look at the interface. Okay, we're back. I had to do a little messing around. I set them in an IP address range where I hadn't set up another network on my unified security gateway. So I just moved them over into the 192 range for now to continue on. So then once you hit the address of the GUI, when you boot up the server on the main screen, it will tell you the address to go to and the port. If you see up here, it says port 8007 on that IP address. So when you put that in, you have to put in the port in order to get to the correct interface, because you can have multiples instances of different web GUIs running on different servers, and they're usually designated by the port that they're mapped to. So we put that in, then we log into here, and I've left it pretty simple. I've just changed the password. So I'll put in root. And I'm in. Now, when you first pop up, you're going to have this no valid subscription. You don't have to worry about that. That's just for support with Proxmox. So if you are running this in an enterprise environment and you want to have proper support for it and use it as a full-time enterprise solution, then you're definitely going to want to go to www.proxmox.com and get a support package, because if you ever run into any problems, you're going to need that. But for a home lab and the demonstration purposes, I definitely don't need to do that, so I'm just going to click OK. And that goes away. And as you can see, we are in backup server 2.1.1. Over here in Proxmox, I hit OK again, and we are in Proxmox virtual environment 7.1. Okay, so then once you're in, what you need to do is set up your hard drives. So over here in storage disks, you find the drive that you want. So you can see this one, I've got it mounted already, but what you can do is you can initialize it with GTP. Then once that's done, you go over here to directory. Now if it's several drives you're using, then you do the ZFS and you'd set those up first, then create the directory. But since I just had a single 6 terabyte drive here on my backup, I then created the directory. It was pretty simple. It said, where's the path? What do you want to call it? And do you want it to be a data store? So I checked the box for data store, called it backup 6 terabyte, and hit create. From there, you can come down here to data store, and you can see that there's 257.0 megabits used of 5.41 terabytes. So it is ready to rock and roll. That's basically what you do on the backup server. Now, over here at Proxmox will be the next step, and what we're going to do there is we're going to try and set up the link in order to sync our files. So here we are over in Proxmox. We just finished getting Proxmox backup drive ready, and we've gone into disks, and we can see dev STC is our 6 terabyte drive. We can see there's an NTFS partition on there, and there's another partition on here that's probably a GDP. Yeah, GDP. So, but we want to fix this. We want to get rid of this. So what we're going to do, I didn't show you on Proxmox backup because I figured I'd show you over here because I knew I had to wipe this drive. So we go into shell, we make note of dev STC, we type fdisk dev SDC, then we hit enter. We type G because we want to do a GDP, and then we want to hit write. And with any luck, that makes the partition all GTP with nothing on it. So now we come in here, we'll reload, and now we have 6 terabytes with nothing on it. So perfect. So now what we want to do is we're just simply selecting that, and we're ready for the next step. So something that I should do too is, I've already done it on Proxmox Backup, but I need to come over here to Updates, and I need to refresh. It's loading. It's got a whole bunch in here, so I'm going to hit Upgrade. It's going to open this up. It prompt me just like I was doing a sudo apt-get update in Ubuntu. I'm going to hit Yes, Enter, and it's going to upgrade Proxmox for me. So you always want to do this before you actually start setting up any of your clients, Kubernetes, or VMs. I'm going to pause this right now and come back when it finishes. So now what we want to do is connect the two together. We finished updating, the drives are ready to go, everything is ready. So over here you've got your data center. So you want to connect your data center to your Proxmox backup center. So from here what you do is you select the data center, and then you can select storage. Then you come up here to add. I know you think it was be under backup, that's for setting up jobs, but it's storage. And then you want to add, and if you look all the way down the list, you can add Proxmox backup server. So you add that in. So now the ID, we're just going to call it Proxmox capital BU for backup. Now the server, I'm just going to put in the address 192.168.1.7 because that's the IP address. Username is going to be root. Password is going to be my password. Make that correct. Then we're going to go over to, we need the fingerprint. So what we need to do is go over to Proxmox Backup. We're on the dashboard, show fingerprint. Now what we're going to do is copy to clipboard. So now we have that copy. Come back into Proxmox, down here in the fingerprint, we're going to add that in. And now here under the data store, we also want to come back over to Proxmox. We know that's okay. Here's the name of our data store, backup 6 TB. I can't copy it, so I'm just going to put that in manually. So backups 6 TB, backups 6 TB, and Proxmox 1. We're fine. Oh, sorry, I have to go at PAMS, I believe. You can't just put in the password, I believe you have to do the at PAMS. Nodes, Proxmox 1, we only have one node to back up. Add. Now it's adding the connection. Oh, unauthorized. Damn. Oh, think I made a mistake on this. I think it's just a PAM. There we go. So now we've added a data store and we're ready for the next part. So what we're going to do now in the next video is we're going to come in and we're going to start setting up some of our servers. So that's basically Proxmox install, Proxmox backup install, and connecting the two together. So we're good to go. Alright, I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching.